God, this music is like
this is hilarious.
It's like actually as bad as you could think. I got my boots on. How y'all doing tonight? Welcome into the Losers Lounge. That sounds like a blowing country song.
Are we back into children's book reading Adam just that quickly?
Yeah, we're doing voices again? What the hell?
That was children's
How does
book
this show
reading
start?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Losers Lounge. No. You have to have the
I know, but
trombone.
I had no effect. You
did have no effect. Guys, Nuggets dropped to a Ja Morant-filled Memphis Grizzlies. They were on fire. Ja Morant was unstoppable, unguardable. He was pretty spectacular overall. There were some positives. There were some real negatives, and I'm sure we're going to get into them in an ugly Losers Lounge. It's going to be so ugly.
What's the ugliest part? Is it me?
Well, I'm going to introduce my panel here. I got D-Line Co.
Guys, I'm not a basketball genius. I looked at the box score. I couldn't make heads or tails of it.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of minuses underneath the line where it said starters. I don't know how to interpret that, but it didn't seem good.
It wasn't good. It was indeed actually bad, I would say. I would go as far as to call it bad. Over here, I got Brendan Vogt.
I'm in a tough place, guys. I'm in a tough place. Argentina's bailing on me. I can't win the Denverites back because I was too in on Facu. It's gonna be a tough lounge for me. But
Sports are pretty funny in that way.
Yeah.
In that, like people, you're my guy as long as you have the opinion I want, no matter what circumstances.
Hey man, I'm not blind.
So yeah, the Nuggets drop, and it sucks because we talked about this homestand. Nuggets have one more game against Detroit. I mean, hopefully that's an opportunity. Actually, they have two games in a row, one at home against Detroit and one on the road. Detroit's not very good. They don't win very many games. I don't know if you guys have seen that, looked at the standings. They're not very good. So the Nuggets have an opportunity to close out this homestand now with a win, but we talked going into it, 4-2 was par. If you go 4-2, you don't feel bad about it, but you don't feel good about it. And we wanted to feel good about it. Tonight was that game. Nuggets lose by 4 points. And as you mentioned, I don't think it's hard to figure out where this game went wrong in this one. So we'll talk about it. Nikola Jokic gets a triple-double, 26 points, 11 rebounds, 12 assists. You get good contributions really from everybody. Will Barton tonight, 27 points, goes 10 of 18 shooting. He had some very big moments. Double figures across the board. In fact, everybody in the starting lineup, 15 points or more. Shot, with the exception of Aaron Gordon, shot 50% or better. Then you go down to that bench unit. You look at Zeke Nnaji, who played just 12 minutes, minus 14. Nuggets were murdered in those minutes. You get to Facu Campazzo, 19 minutes, minus 23, murdered when he was on the court, including in the stretch he played with Jokic. Still the Nuggets murdered. Bones Highland out there for 12 minutes, minus 14. Brendan Forbes makes his debut, goes minus 13. And here's the worst part. 8 points for Zeke Nnaji, 9 points for Brendan Forbes. Those are your total points scored off the bench. Bones and Facu combined for 0. All right, Eric. I'll let you say it. I'll let you be the one. I mean, we can talk about the bench. I don't want to try to make it a guy.
Brendan and I scored as many points as both Facu and Bones combined.
That's so sad.
I'm the biggest Bones defender, and Brendan Vogt is the biggest Facu defender. You can direct all frustration about Facu towards Brendan directly. Use the @ symbol in the chat.
Actually, here's what I will say before we get into just try to single out guys. When the Nuggets added Brendan Forbes, this was his debut tonight. We were talking about who gets bumped from the rotation, and we thought for certain,
yes,
it was going to be any two of Austin Rivers, Bones Highland, Facu Campazzo, and we thought, man, are you really going to play Bryn Forbes alongside Facu? That's two really small guys. I don't know if you could do that. And then we thought, well, then surely if you did that, you wouldn't, you'd have a big at the 3 spot. You wouldn't put Bones Highland as your small forward, especially against Ja Morant and this Grizzlies team that has some perimeter scoring.
I actually did expect all of that.
Did you really?
Yeah, I thought he was going to go at the 3.
But this is what happened. Like, I'm honest to God, I am blown away that Michael Malone decided to play that combination of players tonight, and I hope it's the last time, because this game really is that simple to me.
Yes,
it really is that simple. Nuggets played pretty good. The Grizzlies were on fire. Ja Morant, no answer for him, and yet Denver still should have won this game if they didn't hemorrhage 23 points in 12 minutes or whatever it was.
The crazy thing is that unit that got torched so substantially, so thoroughly, so embarrassingly in the third was actually pretty good in the second. They
had a one run. They had a run where they got murdered, but then they had a run where they.
But see, this is the problem. Is that
here's the thing though. You said they were good because they went on that run. But if you give up a 12-0 run and then you have an 8-0 run, you still gave up 4 points.
I'm trying to play like on this show. I was trying to occupy my own opinions mean nothing. I'm just trying to understand like the psychology. Why would you go to a lineup that is so obviously broken, clearly does not work? Like the babies in the baby race were all complaining about the same lineup. Every single person was screaming from the hilltops, like, what are we doing with this 3-guard lineup? Why with the 3 small guards? Like, it's not Bryn Forbes, it's his first game. I'm not that mad at him. He came out on fire for the most. I mean, he came out.
Took 13 shots. He took more. He took the third most shots.
In the first half, he was good. In the second half, he was atrocious.
Yeah.
Every guard that suited up for the Denver Nuggets in the second half was absolutely atrocious.
Right.
It just makes you crazy. You're like, dude, try something different. Try something different. It's not what he does. Malone does not do that. He lets everything play out to the absolute bitter end. Like you, I hope that this is the last time we see something like this. I'm not convinced that it is. But good God.
Were you surprised at all that? Yeah, so you said you weren't surprised that they ran that?
No, it didn't surprise me. I don't think it was the right call, but it didn't surprise me. Malone does the 3-guard thing, man. And here's the other thing. That group hasn't stopped anyone all year. So, no, but I think he was just trying to find a little offense. And they didn't go shot for shot. They just didn't.
Right.
So, I mean, first of all, I start with Malone tonight. I do. I just don't think it was a great Malone night.
I really do too.
But look, man, Bones was scoreless. Facu was scoreless. And look, there was a stretch with the bench before the Facu Jokic minutes where, Forbes had 3 chances to knock down some shots, go shot for shot with them, and he missed them. I don't blame the new guy for the loss, but Bones was also scoreless. The bench did not play well in that stretch.
Atrocious.
It is Facu's additional minutes that blow my mind.
Right. Because everybody else on the bench, kind of gets cut a little bit here.
That's
I guess
right.
Forbes played 19.
To me, this is a very good summary of the Facu issue. He has had a very bad season. The entire bench has had a very bad season. As a unit, they have lost a lot of games together.
Right.
One guy in that group has had a much longer leash than everybody else.
Correct.
It's my guy, my fellow Tiny King. And tonight he led everyone in minutes off the bench when it was clear from the first stint that he didn't have it. So, listen, I thought Facu was a great third-string point guard last year. I really do. I'll stand by that till the end of my days. It's been a rough season so far, and I think the biggest issue for me is how much Malone relies on him.
Right.
And I can appreciate it, but it's Torrey Craig-esque, and that drove me crazy too.
And that's the thing, some people don't like when you share plus minus as an individual stat. They're the stat people are like, it's not an actual thing. Here's the thing. We all understand what it means. When you were on the court, does it mean it was all your fault? Of course not.
Of course not.
But we could take now a 1,000-minute sample size and say that Facu, coming into tonight, was the 17th worst. The only guys that were worse were the Thunder, who lost a game by 85 points this season, or players on the Thunder, the Rockets, Garrett Temple, the only guy on the Pelicans, and Detroit. So all your teams that are losing every game by 20 points have guys that are in the Facu zone. Denver's got a winning record. Denver has a winning record, and he's played every game. So it kind of shows you that, hey, man, when they're on the court. And then here's the crazy one. Jokic has played roughly 1/4 of his minutes with Facu this season, and it was a minus 16 coming into the game. He's going to be like a minus 30 after this one. That is crazy to me because Jokic has the 8th highest plus minus of any player in the NBA right now. So when he's on the court, Denver is winning by an average of 10 points per game. That's what they are, except for that anchor, those minutes that they overlap there. So I'm with you. And again, my point isn't that Facu is bad. It's that the Nuggets clearly don't have the pieces that he fits in a very narrowly defined system, and the Nuggets don't have that. They don't have a rim roller. They don't have great spacing.
Yep.
So this isn't maybe a worse player can play because it fits better with the other ingredients that you have. And I honestly think that's it. It's not just a personal attack on Facu and his ability. It's an attack on his repeated leash, as you mentioned, with the lineup that so clearly brings out the worst in him.
Yes.
Yeah, it's frustrating because I think, like Vogt said, I think you just kind of have to look at Michael Malone in this scenario where you're like, man, you got to put people in a position to succeed. Like you just have to. It's on you. And we see this. I mean, we've seen this a lot now for 3-4 games in a row. Like it's almost like he has all of his lineups just pre-filled out, and they just go in, and that's what it is. And and you're like, man, that 3-guard lineup is not effective. It's they're so much smaller than the Grizzlies. They're throwing the ball. They're creating turnovers constantly. They can't get into the paint at all. They can't shoot at all. There's really not providing any advantage, and then they're getting absolutely murdered on the defensive end. So
the defensive part is a big part of this too. Like, if you're not going to be effective, if you're not going to get some steals,
get some stops.
But they weren't. Like, there were no stops to be had. The reason Michael Malone plays him, I believe, is because he's a point guard.
Yeah,
and this makes sense. Like, the Nuggets are short point guards. They have Monte Morris, and then they have Facu. And you look around and you go, is Bones a point guard? Is Barton a point guard? Like, can those guys handle it? Is Davon Reed? Can those handle it? And I honestly don't know the answer. Other than I know we've watched this story so many times, and I'm like,
There's
I'm curious.
One thing we haven't tried.
I'm curious.
That's it.
Yeah. Although the question is like, okay, fine. So you want to play Facu because he's a point guard. Like, so why 2 other guards next to him?
Right. Well, you just got Bryn Forbes, so I think you have to throw him out there. But like,
well, right. So then,
he's not a point guard. Like,
right. So let's try Davon Reed. Let's try like a little size.
I don't know if you can play an NBA basketball game without a point guard, though. This is the real issue. Like, you either have to change your rotation entirely so that you're playing Barton more with the second unit as a point guard. You're trusting Bones Highland here, which he doesn't, like, in my opinion, probably deserve that trust. Although here's one thing about Bones Highland: nights like tonight, he's really just not involved. It's not like.
He was terrible.
He was bad. He was really bad.
No, but you're saying like it's not. It was just like he was bricking shots. He wasn't a part of what they were doing.
He wasn't a part of the. Like,
Agreed.
Part of me wonders like what happens if Bones Highland is the point guard. What probably happens is you probably have a lot of worse turnovers and some like blown defensive assignments. But maybe, I don't know, you score a point here or there. Like, you might.
That sounds dope.
And I'm just curious. Like, here we're at the point where it literally can't be worse. Like I don't think it can.
Well, I know
they scored 17 points tonight.
It's so wild, man. The Nuggets that team that they went up against, granted they were missing people, that's a really good team.
Yeah.
The Memphis Grizzlies.
We do have to credit them too, right?
I mean,
and Ja Morant in particular.
Like,
unbelievable.
It's easiest to look inside when you're angry. It's healthy to look inward when you're angry. We're all mad at Facu. That team that they played, Ja Morant was incredible. Like, Ja, meaning God, like, seems appropriate. That dude is unbelievable.
He has the best body control maybe I've ever seen. Like, guys, Michael Jordan, I always tell people this, that was the number one thing with Michael Jordan. He had such great body control. Yeah. He was like Kobe with respite speed, but somehow had the body control of like a Kobe. Ja Morant takes it to another level. Like, he makes 4 or 5 90-degree cuts in one drive. Like, he'll just go 100 miles per hour, 90-degree angle at left, 90-degree angle at right, 90-degree angle left, and then it's a layup, and you're just like, how do you guard that?
Yeah, he can go absolutely wherever he wants.
Really is joystick body control. It's absolutely. I mean, he's fun. And then the thing that also makes him unlike just a straight Westbrook or a John Wall or one of these other guys, he also is like such a unselfish player and smart player, and he does all these other things too that and a gamer. He just plays with this like intensity. So, Go ahead.
Well, I want to keep pulling on the thread that you hit on. We talked on Malone, and he gets, I think, his fair share of blame tonight. Look, our guy Tim Connolly, I don't think you can just sit here and say, listen, in Tim's defense, this was not plan A or B or C.
Right.
But let's acknowledge the position Malone's in. You are right. It's not just that he likes the hustle. They need a point guard.
Right.
And here's the deal. I love Bones Highland. What does Bones' season look like? He's sprained 2 ankles. He's been in and out of health and safety protocols twice, and he's a rookie. So if the plan was he was the point guard from the jump, I don't know how good this looks either. But I acknowledge what you're saying, Adam. How much worse can it look? And what's the one thing we haven't tried yet?
I miss the Rodney Magruder era, don't you?
So,
well, I mean, to your point, and it's funny because I was thinking about this tonight. We hadn't talked about this, so I can't really claim credit. But it is true that if Tim Conley's looking at this the way I'm looking at it and saying, like, man, every time he's on the court, they're hemorrhaging. He doesn't have a game where he was a positive against a team with a winning record. Like, that's a shocking and damning statistics. If you look at that, maybe you do think, do we need Bryn Forbes or do we need a point guard? Like, maybe we just bring in like a Brandon Goodwin or some kind of like not good, other whatever you can get for what they had available to you. you're not going to get a great point guard, but just somebody that's like, hey, this guy has played point guard before, so he can do it. Maybe it is Bones Highland. I mean, the Nuggets just need Bones Highland to be able to step into that role, and I'm not sure if he can. But I do know that lately, putting him with Facu has just turned him into like a spot-up shooter that doesn't really get shots. Right. And it's not really working. So, I mean, he went 0 of 3 tonight. It's not like he...
Were you guys surprised... And we just talked about the playmaking angle, but were you surprised not to see Davon Reed tonight, a guy who we consider a Malone guy through and through? They needed some perimeter defense. He doesn't get a look.
Yes. Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. Davon Reed, I think, has been good.
Yeah.
He has been good. We lost by 4 points, and our guards got murdered.
Yeah, at least put him out there on Ja Morant or something like somebody else. More than anything, it was the Facu minutes with Jokic where you're like, okay, I don't know if we need Facu here. Although, to come to Facu's credit here, the stretch in the fourth quarter where the team could not get the ball to Jokic was right when they took Facu out. Right when they took him out, then all of a sudden the team, for whatever reason, started struggling to get him the ball there. Unlike when Facu was on there, they'd get him the ball, but Jokic had to play against two guys the whole time, so it's kind of in one and out the other right now with them. Zeke Nnaji was really bad tonight as well. We talk about tenacious Zeke. So actually, here's a good thing. The Memphis Grizzlies have such a good culture because they do have a lot of guys that just go hard. I mean, Brandon Clark, he's super athletic. He's not super skilled, super athletic, and that guy just plays like a maniac, Like, Steven Adams is always going to go for every rebound and box out and this or that. Zeke Nnaji, 12 minutes tonight and 1 rebound. 1 rebound, that's not tenacious Zeke. And there were a couple of them today where you're like, dude, you're getting pushed around. Like, you got to get tougher.
It's really weird, man. He just can't put it all together. No. Or he's in position, but then it goes right off his hands. It's just...
I think it's so hard to become a tough guy. Like, it's just... either you are or you're not, and it's hard for him to, like, I'm trying to be tenacious Zeke, but I'm actually finesse Zeke, or I'm contemplative
Finesse?
Zeke. What is that?
Finesse with a Z, Zeke.
Oh, all right.
I'm trying to help you out, man.
Thank you, man.
Zeke just hasn't looked like an NBA big. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He looks skilled, but the big part isn't it.
I'm not saying he doesn't look like an NBA player, but he hasn't looked like an NBA big.
Man, so the comp when the draft first happened, everybody kept saying Channing Frye. And I kept thinking, like, all right, Channing Frye. I'm like, yeah, but he's more of a big than that. And, like, now I'm like, maybe he's not. Maybe he's actually just a tall, but not necessarily a big. Yeah, he's just a tall, but not necessarily a big.
Oh, God.
The one thing, we're going to get to it, there's a lot of other players that had some interesting things. But Yoke, he was a little passive early on. I kind of wish he was a little bit more aggressive. But in that second half.
I mean, he was so good in the second.
He was just so good again. 26 points, 11 rebounds, 12 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. 11 of 16. And honestly, he would have had 35 tonight if they could just space the core. Yeah, he's the DraftKings Sportsbook king of the game, of course. Who else was it going to be? And you do just get that sense of, like, man, if the Nuggets could just help him out like a little, he probably would score 50. He's in such a scoring zone right now that he's so unbothered by everyone.
I wish, like you said, he would have come out a little strong. Like, this has been the Jokic experience where it's just... He's unable to just go into FU mode until he's absolutely certain it is required of him.
Every game he gives everybody a chance. And almost every game they're like, no.
I swear to God, he starts off every game. He has with 2 minutes left in the first, he has 4 points. Right. And you're like, bro, come on. Like, just go. We saw you do it at the end of the game. Last game, you answered all of our prayers. You looked exactly how we want you to look. And it seemed really easy. But, what are you going to do? How could you possibly be mad at Jokic?
Who's mad at Jokic?
No, I'm not mad at Jokic. I'm saying I'm levying what sounds like a criticism, but really I'm just talking things.
This is his 4th straight triple-double. Which, it's just that we really do sometimes take him for granted because tonight was so frustrating that you get frustrated with some of the stuff that happened.
What's the record on that? Does anyone know?
Triple-doubles?
Consecutive triple-doubles.
Russ did it for a whole year, so I'm guessing he had a stretch of like 10.
Yeah, but did he have... Yeah. I don't know. 82. Look that up for me, chat.
Yeah, consecutive triple-doubles. It's probably quite a bit. But he's just so good, man, and it really is like... You just have to give him a little, man. You just have to give him a little. Well, he's going to do so much that you just have to not get destroyed. Do
you guys want to get, like, there are some positive takeaways. The starters effing hung, man. Yeah. The starters look really good.
Yeah, they were plus, 13.
I just think I now feel like halfway through this season, as frustrating as this has all been, and there are so many issues that it's like, I wish they could just throw a Band-Aid on it and it doesn't work. I am that much more confident that I'm like, oh man, the starters can play with just
Right.
about any
They
team
really
in the league.
can.
They really can. I mean, it's not just that they're losing games where the bench is drowning. They are going out to big leads, then it's gone, then they're getting them back. I mean, they're just as good as almost any team they've played all year, if not every team. The bench issue is an issue, but again,
the bench, Monte Morris goes to the bench
That's
eventually,
right.
and it's like, okay, well, that actually helps out a lot because, one, that is a point guard, so like now you solved one of those
which
big problems.
again, like, was the plan,
Right.
So let's just be honest. Was it an awesome contingency plan? Is there a lot that Tim and company can learn from this roster construction?
Probably.
Absolutely.
I think about that a lot.
Absolutely. But here's the other deal, man. Like, I think everyone is climbing all over themselves to point out what everyone knows. Starting third stringers, suboptimal. Starting rookies who go in and out of health and safety and sprain their ankles, suboptimal.
I think what people are frustrated though by is it does feel like even with given what you have, there are better options out there.
Yeah.
That's the part that I think is frustrating is
There
like
are
you mentioned,
lessons to
for
learn
some
from
reason
this.
he just seems to have the longest leash and you're just
That's
like,
it.
I don't know,
That's
man.
it. That to me is, and that's where I would like focus in on this, man. Listen, your third string point guard is gonna get his butt kicked. Like you put that stat out where it's like the only guys he's better than are the guys on all the worst teams in the league. I'm like, yeah, no kidding.
Well, first of all, there's only 16 of them, so it's not even all of the guys on those teams. It's only like some of the worst.
No, but
of
I'm
those.
saying, yeah, man, that sounds about right. I think that's the kind of caliber player that he is.
Right.
So, look, is there a lesson to learn in terms of roster construction? Absolutely. Is there a lesson to learn in Malone playing him less? Absolutely. But I am not surprised that these issues are rearing their heads. There were bad options here from the jump. There remain bad options. And the best fix, as it's been all year, is guys coming back.
It does make you wonder, though. You know, you just add DeMarcus Cousins to it, too. And the Nuggets needed a backup center, too. I mean, that was another thing. But just another ball handler. It would be nice just to be able to say, like, hey, we're going to try something else out tonight and see if it's a little bit more of a neutral
The
option.
trade deadline has not come and gone.
It has not come and gone, but I'm not that optimistic about the Nuggets. And by the way, Jamal Murray's coming back shortly after that, so hopefully he goes. Let's take a break. On the other side, though, I want to get to Aaron Gordon's defense on Ja Morant tonight because it's kind of an interesting topic where he can and cannot be effective, and a bunch of other guys from the starting lineup that had interesting games.
Ooh,
Big
bless
sneeze.
you, sir.
Big sneeze.
You get a handkerchief for my little guy over here?
Yeah, can I get one? A little hanky. Vogt, you're on.
Are you looking for the ad, or are you flaming somebody in the comments? Vogt?
He just absolutely.
Both. All right, sorry, guy. Give me 2 seconds. Adam, say something insightful.
Yeah. What do you guys think of? Have you seen
You
Yellowstone?
guys got plans for this weekend? Any plans for the weekend?
Sexy Pizza catered our tailgates all Bronco season long. They did an awesome
You
job.
want me to tell us some bird stories?
What is Sexy Pizza, you may ask? Well, it's a pizza place.
Sure.
That part, yep, you got that part. And it's Colorado, baby. It's local. Try one of their signature philanthro pies. They've got some pies you can order where a selection of those proceeds will go to various nonprofits across our great state of Colorado. Your great state of Colorado.
Dude,
your great
our
state.
great state.
I'm just happy to be
Did
here.
you just secede from Colorado based on this game?
No, listen,
Okay.
I don't get to claim it. You
Yes,
guys
you
have
do.
you guys have to bestow it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's bestowed, my
okay,
guy.
well then I'll take it. I'll take it.
present to you Colorado.
Yeah, man, Sexy Pizza. Check them out. Hit them up. And when you do, let them know we sent you. Just so you know, if you're looking to have them support your organization or event, as we did with our tailgates, go to www.sexy.pizza and check out their About page for the donations link to see how Sexy Pizza can support your cause. And let's see. We can also talk about DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Do you guys feel like doing that?
Let's do it. I feel like it.
Let's do it. We're on to the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is celebrating with huge odds boosts for new customers. Counting down to Super Bowl 56, you can get 56-1 odds on any team. Bet just $5 and get $280 in free bets if your team wins. Not a new customer, you can still get in on the action with same-game parlays. Combine multiple bets from the same game for a bigger payout. The more legs you add, the more money you can win. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code DNVR. Get 56-1 odds on any NFL team. Bet just $5 to win 280 free bets. If your team wins, that's promo code DNVR for 56-1 odds at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Must be 21 or older. Colorado only. New customers only. See restrictions apply. DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Hey, we're back.
We're back.
Look at us.
So one of the things that's really interesting to me here is, Aaron Gordon has played some elite defense in moments. And he, generally speaking, and I think it's because he's playing alongside Jeff Green, Jeff Green will get the bigger assignment, and then if there's like a good guard, they'll put Aaron Gordon on him. He guarded Josh a decent amount tonight, just completely ineffective. And we've actually seen this against some of like the Donovan Mitchells or some of these speedy guards, and it makes me think like I don't know that I have a ton of confidence in Aaron Gordon's ability to like contain those guys. I don't know that he has an impact out like more than if
it was
depends. Barton on him or something.
Well, I mean, Ja Morant cooked everybody that
Correct.
came in his path. We've seen Aaron Gordon look good on some shifty guards. Like he looked really good against Dame Lillard. He looked really
but Dame's
good.
not shifty. He's crafty.
Nobody is as shifty as Ja Morant. I don't think so. Like,
but Ja and Dame are different molds.
I agree. I'm just saying, like, you can rely on him sometimes to go on a smaller, faster player and be effective and stay in front of him.
But not this mold.
I don't know what we can do with this mold. Like,
Donovan Mitchell's a similar mold. I mean, there are players like this. Russell Westbrook's kind of a similar mold. Like, there are guys that this is what they do. They're just so dang fast and jittery, and he just. It doesn't look. I don't think his length and strength work against that.
No, and he was getting. I mean, Ja made him look silly. Like he was making him run around, get bumped off on screens, running into his own guy. I mean, it was tough. I mean, I don't know that if given the chance again that Malone would opt for that assignment, but I think it was like you just look at Gordon as your defensive specialist. So if there's somebody that's cooking you, at a certain point you put him on. But you're right. I mean, it didn't work. I mean, nothing worked. It was bad, dude.
I only mentioned that. I don't know if it has had any correlation, but, he only goes 4 of 11. He took the fewest amount of shots. And I do wonder if there's like a cost reward to, hey, you have a really tough defensive assignment tonight versus like, hey, I don't think you're going to have an effect on Ja tonight, so let's put Barton on him, but we want you to be here.
Yeah.
Or Monte or whatever. I don't know. But it's just a point because when we talk about playoff matchups, I'm not sure AG, that's the best thing. And when we talk about further roster construction, Denver might need a defensive-minded guard for these moments.
I'm pretty surprised we didn't see
Rivers,
Austin Rivers,
Davon Reed,
Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers seems like the guy that you would turn to in this situation to be. He has length. He's jittery in and of himself.
He can defend better than
not
Facu,
defending.
Bones, or
Yeah.
Forbes.
I mean, I don't know. This game is like exquisitely frustrating because almost every lineup that we put out, like you can find a very deep fatal flaw in. And
so true.
It's like so obvious.
True. There's no great solution.
It's just like so obvious what the problem was, but at a certain point, it's like, our bench players aren't that good.
Yeah,
sometimes.
dude, you just hit it. You were just looking for the alternatives, and you couldn't find any. And like again, I get it. We've talked about it enough. There's one thing they haven't tried yet, so I'm all on that take. But I do think, for as much as we criticize Malone this year, and he's earned it, there is a bottom line that has to be remembered. There are not good options right now. There just aren't. There's more they could try though.
Right. Monte Morris knocked down some threes tonight. He'd been in a bit of a slump, and he hits one early on, and he thinks the heavens. You could tell that had been weighing on him. Goes for 17 points. Man, he had a weird stat line tonight, guys. Guess how many assists without looking? How many assists would you guess he had tonight?
Ja?
No, Monte Morris.
Monte? 3?
I mean, I would say probably like 8.
0.
Oh, wow.
Dude, we were both wrong in 2 completely different
Monte
directions.
Morris
I
had
hate that.
17 points, 1 rebound, 0 assists. Just weird. I wonder when the last time he played like real minutes and had 0 assists. Now, the Nuggets as a team had 34, so this probably had a lot. That's a lot of assists. This had a lot to do, I'm sure, with just how the team was being defended and where those assists were coming from. But he did go 3 of 5 from the 3-point line and 7 of 13. What do you make of Monte's night?
He was fine. He was good at times. It was really confusing to me as we got down into crunch time why it was necessary to have Monte and Facu playing together. That tells me, if we're
they
saying,
honestly might have won if they just didn't do that. Like when they came back with that, you're like, oh, we have to keep going here.
But so like that tells me, maybe Malone doesn't have faith in Monte the way he was playing tonight to be able to run the show.
Yeah.
Maybe the 0 assists speaks to that. But I mean, I felt good about his shot. I didn't have negative feelings about Monte at all.
He had that, someone just put it in the comments, he had a really horrible, uncharacteristically bad turnover in the fourth quarter, which, by the way, Barton, who had a great game, but this came following, I think, 2 of Barton's drives that he turned it over, and then Monte had that turnover. Then they hit the stretch where they couldn't get the ball to Jokic.
Yeah, you're right.
But I'm talking about the stretch where they wouldn't get the ball to Jokic.
They did have it.
And honestly, to me, like, yes, of course, the game was lost with the bench, but whatever.
You're right.
We're nearly
You're right.
the All-Star break,
It's a
so
good
get
take.
used to it, right? So here's the other thing that could have happened. The starters still could have won this game. And so they still need to figure that out. As much as I said they've been playing great, and they are, the crunch time without Jamal Murray, it took us a while to learn it's been a real problem. It's been a real problem.
Yeah, God, that was a tough one to figure out, wasn't it?
No. I mean, we all expected that. But what I'm saying is, one way or another, it didn't come up in the first quarter of the season. I feel like this second quarter, it's been like the defining thing for me is the way they close these games.
Yeah, and more to the point, like just the inability to get the ball to Yoke when teams really focus in on him, and the inability to take advantage of that. Like if they're gonna guard, put that much emphasis on one player, you would think, hey, do something else. And to your point, you're right. Like, look. Again, the bench, those minutes were the ones that killed you. But when the starters came in, they made a great run after a little 2-minute, 3-minute stretch where Aaron Gordon tried to make a behind the back dribble move for some reason, just lost the ball. Monte had the turnover. Barton had a couple ugly plays, and then they settled down and went on a great run and almost came all the way back. But it's like, yeah, why do you fall into these little moments there where you just you can't find your rhythm? Barton had 27 points tonight, 5 rebounds, 8 assists for Will Barton tonight. He goes 4 of 9 from the three-point line. I'll tell you what, I feel confident in Barton's three. I was looking at the numbers, and I was surprised he wasn't shooting higher this season. And then I'm like, well, it must have been a bad early start. No, pretty flat every month the same. And I'm like, wow, I feel like I'm always seeing him make threes.
He makes threes the first half of every game, and then never in the second half when it's like needed. When the pressure is off, like Barton is the greatest shooter on the squad. And then like as the game goes on, it's so, dude.
He hit some hero ones at the end of the game when it was too little, too late.
It is hilarious, but I always watch this. I assume you guys do too. Watch these games through the lens of like, oh, what is everyone going to yell at us for? And so when Barton starts off good, I'm always like, yes, and then he does something bad. I'm like, oh no. Everyone's gonna yell at us at Bart.
He had a really good game.
At Barton through us.
He had a really good game though. Let's keep it real, man.
He had a good game. He had a very good game, man. He had a good one.
I mean, he made some bad mistakes though, like going down he got a little
did. He was a part of that. The starters.
Everybody was.
And then Jokic, who was awesome, probably still could have picked a couple of moments. Like if I'm being greedy, because we just watched him be Zeus himself on the basketball court. Like there were some moments where it was like, apply the pressure. But I mean, he doesn't need my help on figuring this out.
And then Jeff Green goes 6 of 12 tonight, grabs 7 boards, 1 assist, 15 points. He did foul out as well. You have any thoughts on Jeff Green's game tonight?
I love Jeff Green's game tonight. I like he had that thunderous Duncan Uncle.
Man, can we talk about that play for a second?
Please.
Of all the frustrating plays that happened in this game, that might have been the most frustrating.
Yes, no call.
My God, like how do you, there's some times where there's contact or like grabbed a jersey, but it's like reached around to get him subtle, this or that. That's just a straight up hack job.
A straight up hack
job for Yoke. Oh man, did you see the look Yoke gave after that?
Of course.
He wraps a pass around and then like he gives a look and I swear to God he looked like a serial killer.
Malone was just Malone with one tech on the sideline just laughing to himself.
Well, the crazy
Malone might have used his tech too early because there were like after that tech there were way worse calls. Like he came out storming because there was a bad call and it's like little do you know. There will be much worse calls later on.
The crazy thing about that is that, like, all right, fine. You're not going to call the hack on Jokic. He stops and is holding the ball. Then Jokic was in the lane for 12 seconds.
Yeah, he really was.
So, like, what are we doing?
The ref's like, my bad. Just keep playing.
Yeah. Is this like the rules purge, like with no rules for the next 1 minute? Like, what is happening right now?
Yoke, man. And then the other pass he had tonight, the one where he has a double team and he somehow, like, throws
to Gordon, dude. That might be one of my favorite Jokic passes ever.
Oh, my God.
He threw that through, what is his name? Adams.
Yeah.
Through him. Through his soul. He put it directly through him.
Jokic is like seeing the Matrix right now.
It's stupid, dude.
He is like in such a zone. And it's crazy because the Nuggets, he's got 4 straight triple-doubles. 3 of them he scored 30. 1 of them he scored 26, all on great efficiency. And guess what? The Nuggets are 2-2.
Dude, every other game.
Every other game.
Just adjust your expectations. It's going to be every other game until we get our people back. The Nuggets actually had an opportunity to win this game.
Yeah, I know. Part of me is like, I'm kind of just glad they didn't get their butts kicked.
That's what I'm saying. That squad
they looked formidable. They did look formidable. But like, look, whatever, dude. It's wins or losses right now. They'll be very good when all the players are back, and then they'll be like you said every other night in the meantime. So it stings not to get this one.
You know what that means though? Next game, baby.
Man,
Let's
Detroit.
go.
So we're gonna show Detroit who's boss.
4-2.
Jeremy Grant coming to town.
Like
Dub,
B
dub,
B
dub.
plus 4-2. Like,
Well, they're not there yet.
well, I
They're
know they gotta get there. I'm
3-2.
saying if
We can't
no,
just
no,
count
no.
this Detroit
I mean,
one.
if they, I'm saying if they get it, if they finish 4-2,
What's the worst that could happen?
that's a good road trip. So that's still possible.
Homestand. It's not.
I mean,
though. Remember
homestand, thank
to
you.
me, it was par. It was. I declared it before. You feel neither good nor bad about that. You're
I
just
feel,
like
you feel
I
okay
feel
about
good.
it.
I
Feel
feel
okay. Don't feel great.
Listen, man.
Don't feel great, but
Listen, like,
one of those losses was a schedule loss to Utah.
yes.
This one would've been dope.
Should we beat the Detroit Pistons, we will win every game I expected, and we will have lost every game I expected. So,
But why would that make you happy?
it doesn't make me happy. It makes me
Eric,
feel
are you
content.
feel about somebody that just meets expectations, or do you want somebody that exceeds expectations?
Well, Adam, I like to establish realistic expectations for myself because disappointment only means expectations not met. So, look at me, smiling from ear to ear. I couldn't be happier. I am very disappointed and very depressed about the Denver Nuggets. They are making me sad. But listen, guys, long season. I don't know. They just yell at us about Facu more. I don't know.
Man, I'll tell you what. Yoke's near perfect person. You know how one thing he could do that would make him a little bit more perfect?
More perfect.
Go to the podium within like a half hour of the
That
game.
would
Like
be-
apparently everybody's talked except for Yoke, and Harrison's been waiting for
Well,
like
dude,
20
he has to
minutes.
he's new to suits.
He
It
has
takes
a-
him a long time to put
You
suits
think?
on.
Yeah, that's true. Do you think he has a routine where he plays like 2 games of horse trainer before like coming out? Like every time he's like,
Yeah.
I have
He
to play
lifts,
2
he
games.
showers, he plays a game.
And then he's like, should I buy the expansion pack? It is 99 cents. $200 million contract.
One quick question here before we go to our final break is, so DeMarcus Cousins is joining the team. I assume he's going to play here very soon. If you want to work new players in, Detroit's a great game. Like Bryn Forbes was thrown to the Lions tonight. Like go out there, Ja Morant. But if you want to, like Detroit, okay, there's an opportunity for you there. If he plays, what's different? Like who do you expect that played tonight to not play? Or is there anyone that didn't play that you expect to play?
I mean, I would say Facu, but that seems
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't seem realistic.
I thought that after last game. I was like, as soon as we got Bryn Forbes, I was like, well, this with Facu gives us greater flexibility as far as matchups are concerned, but like more than likely he's going to become more of a bit player. Oh, was I wrong? I think he have the most minutes played tonight, Facu Campazzo? He had to be close.
No, he only played 19.
Off the bench.
It was
He
the
was
most off the bench,
Okay.
but yeah.
But I mean, I would expect, I hope and I pray that 3-guard lineup goes away. So it's either one of Bones or Facu.
Yeah, man, that's a dark timeline there. I mean, Boogie, maybe he opens up a little spacing for you. You never know. I mean, he actually does shoot the 3 ball very well.
He's just center, maybe
He's
a
center, and he
roller,
draws
and a
people
passer.
guys out.
So-
Roller, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess.
Look, by the way, tonight wasn't, the new look bench. Boogie didn't play.
Right.
Forbes didn't have a great game, but look, he was alongside Facu.
Even just rebounds,
and
like
it wasn't
offensive
great.
rebounds, 2 for the bench tonight, 1 from Facu, 1 from Bryn Forbes. So 2 shortest guys were your offensive rebounders tonight off of the bench. And you only grab a total of 7 rebounds as a bench unit. It's crazy, some of these stats. 17 total points from the bench, 7 total rebounds, 4 total assists. Like, pretty wild, man. Not a lot of statistical production. I think DeMarcus Cousins, if he's healthy, will be playing. I think he eats up Zeke Nnaji's minutes. I really do.
Yeah.
Like,
and
I think Zeke Nnaji is another one of these guys
Yeah.
that Malone just doesn't really trust. And I'm curious if Davon Reed plays minutes. I'm curious if he does.
He should. He should. I mean, I don't get the not adjustment. I do kind of get the thought of like, look, this group just needs some offense. So I got trying it, but it's weird, man. Reed seems like he seems like a Malone guy. I kind of thought he'd be getting more benefit of the doubt in these moments.
All right, let's hit our break. On the other side, a lot of super chats with some around the association, and
finally.
hopefully Jokic will come to the
When
podium.
we come back, can we do a round of compliments where each one of us gives another person here or in the chat one compliment that they mean?
Okay.
Am I supposed to do reads?
Yeah.
You know what, guys? I'm just going to say it. Me rooting for a guy that's my height, I root for him. It's really fun. I've never thought Facu was anything but a third stringer.
He's good sometimes.
And in fact, that's what's enabled me to appreciate him, is being honest with myself about who he is. And I'm honest with myself right now. He's not good enough. And my takes are good tonight.
Well,
Get off
he
my
wasn't good
back.
enough tonight, dude. He wasn't good enough tonight.
He hasn't been good enough this season. And maybe, whatever. Anyway, the reads. I've said my piece. I've said my piece. I got the reads wrong. It was supposed to be Green Mountain.
You SOB, dude.
No, I'll do it now. I'll switch it. Green Mountain Dental Group. Longtime fans of the show know all about Green Mountain Dental Group. Many of our fans have switched over. They've made the full-time switch. Those are now their full-time dentists. And you should know by now, when you go to Green Mountain Dental Group and you schedule an x-ray, cleaning, and exam, you will walk out the door with a free Sonicare toothbrush. That's over $100 value. It's a great value. So do it. Help them take care of your teeth and let them give you the right tools to take care of your teeth. That's a double whammy. Oh, by the way, they're cool people. They like Denver sports. So when they've got the tools in your mouth and they're not like asking you how the weather is, they're asking you how dope Jokic is.
They're like, hey, what do you think about Facu?
Yeah, they're like, Vogt. Are you think you're ever going to criticize Facu, you asshole? That's how my dentist visits go. And then after those dentist visits, I hit up Lightshade Dispensary, Colorado's premier dispensary. It's now 11 locations, by the way, guys. It's now 11 locations. And when you go in there, you can look for their Ripple products while I look for the ad read. Oh, I can't find it. I really can't.
Ripple products are very effective. They start working in about 10 minutes or less.
They're fast-acting dissolvables, clinically proven to hit 2 times faster than the leading gummy. They start absorbing within 10 minutes, so you can depend on a consistent experience every time. Where can you find Ripple? That's a good question. Colorado Premier's Dispensary, Lightshade. When you go, use promo code DNVR. You're going to get 20% off your entire order. Not just once, not just twice, every time.
Every time. Unless something's on sale. Don't come in there talking that kind of jive. I'm not going to give you a double discount. Who do you think you are?
Is that good? You done?
I don't know, man. I'm probably the wrong person to ask.
Yo,
I haven't gotten the reads right in 2 weeks. I think I'm done.
I'm the wrong person to ask.
Yeah. Who is the right person
Eric,
to ask?
It's not me. Where's Wind, man? I'm falling apart. It's a rough night
I know,
for me.
dude. Vogt's in shambles. Everybody in the comments, I want you to type one nice thing to Brendan Vogt.
No. They don't have to.
No, you don't have to.
This is my job.
Okay.
Be professional.
All right, back here for segment 3. I'm told we have some super chats to get through. Some super chats. Who wants to help me out here? Bobby says we need a reliable bench leader.
I think he's right. It should be Monte, should it not?
I mean, he would be a good leader of that second unit. Look, that second unit, we talked about it. It's funny, man, how all these ripple effects happen. That second unit to me is the result of several mistakes, both from the front office and from the coaching staff.
Yeah.
We talked about they should have had a Hartenstein or JaVale McGee rim roller. They don't. That's on Malone. They probably should have a different point guard to run with this lineup. That's on Tim Conley and company. So they just don't. I don't know what to tell you. They don't.
But you're right. You're right about
Strongly
that.
agree. And I don't know that it's leadership in terms of like you're talking about. I think it's honestly an unsolvable problem.
You know what I think it is more than anything is just that we've had so much flux on the bench. And I see Molly Hunt on TV right now replaying the Bubba story. But it's just like difficult to have. I'm just, it's nice to see a friendly face when you're in the middle of hell. Anyway, but it's, like things change. Like I don't know what the bench unit is. Do you know can you tell me what the bench unit is?
Britton Forbes apparently.
It's just different every night. So like a lot of these guys. I mean,
he's a shooter, man. He really is Marcus Howard, but a little bit taller.
But I could
might have been really good about that call.
I could see it in Bryn Forbes today. To me, he started pressing really badly because he started off well, and he's trying to impress. And
you think he's trying to impress? Make a big impression?
Of course, dude. Like you show up the first day to work, and you're like, oh, I can handle that. And then like,
and by the way, he missed the shots, but I'm also like, I've watched this bench all year. Fine, take it. Shoot, I don't give a shit.
There was one play tonight where there was one play in the fourth tonight where Yoke had a hard double, and I'm like, just shoot it. It's the best chance.
I know. I know.
He kicked it out to like Will Barton, who gave it to Gordon, and then I think that's when he dribbled around his back and lost it. And I was like, at least Yoke had a chance of making it on that one. Like, you never know. All right, what else we got? Nick says, not a hater, but my patience is done. Facu has entered J.J. Hickson status. Oh, no! J.J. Hickson status. And it's just as much on Malone for continuing to play him. Look, this is
I take umbrage with this, good sir. J.J. Hickson status means that you stop trying.
Yeah, that's true. Facu, for all of his faults, really cares. He wants to win.
J.J. Hickson status means that you stand around the court, you steal money from the Denver Nuggets, and then later on, you get arrested for breaking and entering.
Wow, you hold that grudge really deep.
I really, really detest. Like, there's been no player.
You really get fired up to talk about it.
Yes, because that when I think about the lowest moments I've ever had with the Denver Nuggets, it was me exasperatingly looking at J.J. Hickson to do anything on the court after we traded for him, and it was reported to me that he was a double-double machine, and it turns out he was a money stealer both on the court and in public. Okay, go.
All right, what else? What else we got? Trent says, tired, let Facu grow. Wired, let Facu go.
Man, that's both really funny and sad.
Look at you melt us down with that.
Do you guys remember?
That's a great
3
super chat.
weeks ago when he was on the up and up.
Oh man, we had a good little 4-game stretch. All right, what do we got? So Blanco says, LFG baby, let Facu go. We're piling on. It's become a meme,
dude. If Tatum had hit that 3-pointer tonight, can you imagine how down bad my brand would be? right now?
It'd be a tough brand.
But he didn't. Go ahead and check
Well,
it out. If you,
spoiler alert.
Sorry, yeah,
Spoiler
my
alert.
bad, yeah.
What else we got? Carlos says Facu can't shoot or drive to the basket. He's zero-dimensional.
Well, I'm
Man,
sad.
so are these? Kel, is there a theme to these super chats today? Let's just have fun with these super chats tonight.
You know what I hope?
We're having
I
the
hope
roast
the next
of
super
Facu.
chat says vote. Fuck you.
Yeah, just kick you in the. All right, what else we got?
fun
Mitch,
show, at least.
Howard Rivers also could dribble air out of ball.
It's true.
All right. They probably
That's
could.
not. Yeah.
I don't.
I think he's saying...
Yeah, they might as well.
Why not try
Why
them?
not try it? Jazzy J says the game was lost with Facu on the court. Well,
The game was lost with 5 bench guys.
yeah, it wasn't just Facu.
was
We
five
might have
bench
swung too hard. I didn't realize we were gonna
Well, to
steer
be
this
fair-
hard into
Well,
We're gonna get
we gotta
banned
really
from
push
an
back
entire
even
continent.
further. Yeah.
To be fair to the chat, most of the super chats came in early when
We had
emotions
quite
were
target.
raw.
Yeah. We
hadn't-
worked through it.
We hadn't
now.
worked
Look at us.
through
We're
it at
happy,
all.
We're laughing. We're
Yeah, but this is
smiling.
it. Like we've worked through it, and then we just started right back over.
I need a cigarette.
What else we got here? All right, let's keep going. It says, please, for the love of God, get Facu off of our team. That comes from Mitch. Thank you, Mitch. What else we got? A rapid fire through
the worst
Facu.
night of my life.
Should we make Vogt read these?
Yes, don't have to read
All
every
right, no,
fuck.
bring it on, because I've earned it.
No, you're fine on this one.
Oh, bones for Luka, Zeke for
Giannis.
Giannis. Who says no?
Jim
Adam
Conley.
Silver. Oh, yeah.
No, probably Michael Malone.
Keep going, Vogt. Keep us rolling.
All right, well, give me another one.
Let's go. Let's hear
Give me
some
another one.
Facu.
God.
Real Facu hate.
Oh, my foes are dancing. If it wasn't for Facu fans defending him, literally no one would be defending him. NBA giving him the Westbrook treatment out there. Super cool. Don't clip
Keep it
this.
rolling. Keep it
I
rolling.
love that he says if it wasn't for Facu fans, he would have no fans. Is basically
Which
what
also
he's
is
saying.
like how anything works.
Yeah, that's how it works.
But I get what he's saying.
If it wasn't for Eric,
What
fans,
he's
it
saying
would
is
be
he's
normal.
not made any new ones this year.
He has not made any new ones.
For your consideration, everyone, has there ever been a guard under 6'1", aside from Muggsy Bogues, who couldn't score from somewhere on the floor?
This is actually
good question, Sean.
We've pondered this as the great minds of basketball here. We've pondered this many times. Like I've never seen a little guy that cannot finish. It's the most perplexing.
Why are you
thing.
guys surprised that the 5'6" guard can't finish at the rim?
Because generally speaking, if you are a diminutive player, you've made your bones by scoring the basketball. Isaiah Thomas.
Well, he can't shoot. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Shoot or finish. It's bizarre. But because he's a facilitator, he's a point guard.
Yeah.
Strange.
What else? Sean says. Oh, go for it.
Elf you vote.
It says
I
F
kid.
you.
I kid. No, it says
I
oh, it
kid,
doesn't say
I
F.
kid.
I thought it was a short joke wrapped into it.
Every time I see Vogt, I'm going to say elf you.
I just want to say, bring me the Blazers. Where are the Blazers?
I know.
Give me
I
bring
know.
me.
Well, we got
another
Detroit
Blazer.
coming up.
Oh yeah,
Facu's
that's true.
probably going to
He's
go
gonna
off.
go
He's going to have
off,
such
dude,
a good
and
game.
Argentina's going to be like, you gave up, Vogt. All right, give me something. Give me something. Remember the Murray Jokic pick and roll? Remember how it was so dominant? We were worried it was too much of the offense. I missed that.
Michael
That is
Porter
so
Jr.
true.
Was mad
Yeah.
that it was
That
too
is
much.
so true. Like,
You know what? That can be 100% of the offense.
they're doing this really
If you get-
awesome thing, but is it too much? Is it too much of a good thing? I will say there is reason for optimism, guys, and that this front unit, as you said, I believe the term is whips ass. And if you just added Jamal Murray and Michael Porter to the bench, then all of a sudden you'd have an awesome bench too. So
I
it's
just saw
coming,
someone
I
said,
think.
"What do you mean little guards are supposed to get by people and score people?" Guys, there's levels to this. There's little guards, and then there's being 5'7".
Yeah.
All right, give me the next one. The story will probably be Facu, but what makes me so sad is they missed 15 free throws. They were giving this.
Didn't, though. Somebody texted me this.
I don't think they did they?
No, they went 19 of 23 from the free throw line. So they missed 4, which is about what you would expect. They
Yeah,
shot 80,
15's a big
80%.
jump. But you know what,
82,
dude?
83%.
Thank you for the $10. So
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. Or did they miss him? Oh, yeah, they missed him. I see what they're saying. Oh, so he's saying the Grizzlies missed 15 free throws. Probably should have beat the hell out of Denver. It was probably a significantly bigger blowout game.
We should have lost by the amount that the bench lost by, essentially.
Yeah, maybe that is it. It's as simple as that.
Campazzo, no!
I thought it was a good one.
I liked it too. I liked it too.
I don't care if Facu is bad sometimes when he's good. It's magic. Word is a volatile place. There is no end goal here. I live for the moment. Facu moment.
I love, dude.
World is I actually like that. I appreciate that.
There is no end goal here.
This is a South American poet. I love this.
Dude, that's rad.
I actually like this.
That guy went to
Neruda.
Light
No, that's a Chilean.
This is Pablo Neruda. Yeah.
No, but we can't.
I know,
come
South
on,
America.
man.
South America.
All right. Well,
come on, North American.
Argentina probably rolling in their grave right now. Hearing us say this.
I mean,
they turned it off a long time ago.
They definitely.
No offense, but Malone is Jeff Zalak with an MVP.
Jeff Bezdillik.
Bezdillik,
yeah. That was the Nuggets right before George Karl came in.
That's a bit much.
That's a bit harsh.
I mean,
it's a bit harsh.
It does hurt to not have your best players.
I will say it's funny how you evaluate coaches when it's like when you have a great coach, all of a sudden you really are. Like honestly, man, it's so much of this. You see so many coaches struggle, and you look at the roster, and you're like, they suck. Like Detroit,
right? You're like
terrible.
You're like, did the coach struggle, or
by the way,
are the players bad?
Like and I'm not saying that he's overrated, but to your point, like how has Greg Popovich looked since Tim Duncan retired?
Yeah, that's so great.
So yeah, it is. It turns out getting lucky is a big part of it. Okay, I've had some time to think about it. Facu still must go. Love you guys. Please use this money for peaches on the jukebox.
I got you, my guy.
Dude, are we going to play it on a loser's lounge? Feels weird. I guess we'll do it.
He just gave us cash to do it, dude. This is subsidized.
Trent.
Sorry for coining "Let Facu Go" vote. It's all right, Trent. It's been a rough night. Nuggets fans still love you. I love you right back. Time to bring your favorite player and Nuggets legend Thomas Wells should fix the vibes. Look, man, they don't have a backup center. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, they do.
Well, now they do.
Oh, by the way, I just want to say this because I got tons of tweets and questions, and I saw it in the chat. There it is. Boogie did not play tonight because of an injury. He went through shoot around, and he was active, but Malone said before the game he might not play because of an issue. So just before we go full on, was it JaVale McGee? That wasn't the case tonight, but we'll see what happens from there.
All right, you guys ready for a little around the association?
Oh boy, am I!
Our favorite vote. This is where you really get to shine.
This is
you took that beating. You took that beating with Facu just so you could shine with Jason Tatum. We'll get there eventually. The Warriors. You guys, have you guys been following the Warriors?
Yeah, they keep losing.
They kind of suck.
They lost to the Indiana Pacers.
Is there a lesson here?
What's the lesson? We shouldn't look forward to Jamal coming back yes,
obviously they're missing Draymond Green, but my point is like Klay Thompson has come in. They can't win now with him. It's a little weird. I mean, they're honestly now closer to Memphis in the stand. They're 2 games ahead of Memphis in the loss column. Like
they'll rebound though. They'll rebound. They'll go on a run.
Yeah, but I'm just saying they lost all that
it's
goodwill.
True, but I think the lesson is that anytime you bring back big players into the starting unit that's already working, you're going to have disruption. We're going to experience the same thing when Jamal comes back. It's not going to be seamless. He comes back and all of a sudden we're good. Prep yourself, Nuggets fans.
Warriors won by 2 points at home against the Houston Rockets. Think about that. Against the Houston Rockets. My God. The Jazz got a win against the Pistons. Rudy Gobert, 24 points, 14 rebounds. Let me look at the Pistons here. That's Denver's next one. Cade Cunningham went for 25, 6, and 5. It's kind of his what he's known to do here. Rodney McGruder continues his very strong play, you guys. He had 15 points. 5 of 7 from the 3-point line. This Bol ruined for the Nuggets season again. He's haunting them. What else we got?
Rodney McGruder would have saved the bench.
He might have saved the Nuggets. Damn it. 5 of 7 from 3 tonight? Oh.
Dude, shut up.
That is hilarious. That's actually hilarious.
Man, fuck hilarious. Around the association. shut this down, dude.
The Brooklyn Nets beat the San Antonio Spurs 117-102. James Harden had a triple-double, 37, 10, and 11. I don't have anything to say there. Do you guys?
Nope.
Oh, wait. Did Juancho play? Hold on.
Oh, God. Tell me Juancho scored 30 points or something.
Juancho played 2 minutes today.
2 minutes?
He grabbed 1 rebound. He was a -3. Oh, man. He had a turnover in 2 minutes?
He probably got the rebound and then dropped it.
Keita Bates-Diop, 4 points. So,
man, I'm missing all of our X's tonight.
The backup of Juancho and KPD. What a world we live in, man. What a world. All right, where else are we going here? The Milwaukee Bucks. Oh, this one was a barn burner, guys. Throwback to the 90s. The Bucks beat the Bulls 94-90. That Bulls team, man, they play some defense. 94. They held the Milwaukee Bucks offense to 94 points. They can
They're
guard.
good, man.
Dude, Adam is so Bulls-pilled. They
Dude, I am.
lost, and he led with them.
Dude, I'm
incredible.
telling you,
How
man.
about that Bulls defense in a 4-point loss? Holy shit.
They
What about that
didn't even
Nuggets
have. They
defense
didn't
in
even
a
have
4-point
Lonzo.
loss?
They didn't even have Lonzo.
Dude, you are so AK-pilled, bro.
I am a little AK pilled. I'm not gonna lie. I think
He's doing a great job.
I watched this team.
He's doing a great job.
Ayudisomu, you know, they brought him in. Looks like a freaking insane defender. Like that guy looks incredible. I'm like, man, I hated that guy in the draft. I was like, man, this guy's terrible. AK knows, man. This team he has built. Hell of a damn team. Hell of a damn team.
Hell of a damn team.
The Raptors beat the Wizards 109-105. The West End Cell Juniors moved to 23-23. We're at 500. I don't think they've been below 500 all year, guys. The clock might have struck midnight on them. Is it weird that they have like Kuzma and KCP and Wes Unseld here kind of like conflicted the whole time?
No, I hate all of them.
You don't even like Wes Unseld Jr.?
Dude,
screw him. I don't
Washington Kuzma has been a lot more likable. Please don't throw
In what
tomatoes
way?
at me.
In what way?
And that he
don't-
couldn't be less likable when he was a Laker?
Yeah, he's just not on the Lakers.
No, you
And
just
now
don't-
I'm
you
like,
just-
oh wow, that was a really good game for the Wizards. Look at that young gun. Plenty of potential. Long road ahead.
This is an out of sight, out of mind situation. If you were presented with him every night, you'd think he sucked all the same. He's so buried now on the East Coast that he has to wear ridiculous pink sweaters that are oversized just to scream. He just stitch, look at me on the front. I hate you.
Here's one for the good vibes. When does a sandwich cook? When it's baking lettuce and tomato.
BLT!
What is that? Is there a joke in that?
When it's baking lettuce and tomato.
Like bacon, lettuce, and tomato.
BLT, baby.
Baking, lettuce,
Baking
and
bacon.
Man, just say somebody paid for it.
Robert,
Good joke, Robert. Keep it coming.
win.
I'm sorry. Listen, Robert, I'm kind of
Robert
salty
rules.
tonight.
Yo,
That's
Hey,
not on
you're
you.
not going to get him to laugh
is-
tonight. Like,
yeah,
it's not
that's
going to
right.
happen.
Listen,
Vogt is raw as hell
He
right
is
now.
very
Oh my
raw.
God. I will tell
Hey,
you
can I
guys-
cheer you up?
His
Can I
nerves
cheer
are
you
more
up?
bare
Yeah,
than his
please, can
ankles.
you-
Guys, the Boston
Can I call an
Celtics
ISO?
tonight, they needed a get-right game. They've been having a hard time.
And
So,
there's- oh.
fortunately, the Blazers were in town.
The
Blazers, I mean,
get-right
the Blazers are
team.
terrible.
Get right.
So, of course, they won. Wait, hold up. Oh, no, they did lose. Jason Tatum did go for a near triple-double, 27, 10, and 7. That must have been a good stat line. 0 of 6 from the three-point line. And by the way, did you see the final play?
Yeah, so let's actually credit where credit's due. Tatum had a really good game, and he had a chance to have a great game. He had a chance to put them away. They blew that big lead in like 5 minutes.
They really did.
And, man, what a great move to spring himself wide open
He
from
did.
the wing.
It was a really good
Oh, my
move.
God. It was so smooth, his footwork, and then he clanked the shot, dude. Jason Tatum, Boston Celtics, I want to thank you for keeping me sane all season long.
The Atlanta Hawks beat the Miami Heat somehow.
Pop quiz, who's missed the most shots in the NBA this season?
Jason Tatum.
That's right.
That's such a great stat.
Vogt is back.
Vote is
Back.
back, baby. Also, you guys like this one. You guys have seen the Clippers.
I saw them.
we just played them,
Yeah.
right? You saw that line Yoke put up. It was pretty incredible. Joel Embiid came up just a little bit short of that. He had 40, which is pretty good, 13 and 6, but they lost. They lost to the Clippers. The Clippers come back from 24 down. We're going to pretend that never happened to the Nuggets against the Clippers.
I know,
And
what
just
a- we can
just
the
clown them?
just
What a bunch
clown-
of losers.
Well, at least ours happened on the road. This one, they happened at home. I can't believe it. Embiid. Be better. Do
It's
better,
so funny
Embiid.
that it's those two teams too. I saw one of our friends from 213. Was it 213 Hoops? Our Clippers friends. They tweeted down 24. Their only hope is Doc Rivers, and God did that age. well.
Wow.
That was a third quarter tweet.
Wow, that is
So
incredible.
just beautiful stuff.
After the game, he was asked about, like, is it coaching? And he was basically said F off.
You know what he said? Would you ask Greg Popovich that question? You wouldn't. So don't ask me because I think I've earned that.
The funny thing is I'm not so sure, but I don't know. We'll
What do you mean not so sure? He hasn't.
Yeah.
I'm positive.
Also, it is funny. Like, people always want us, like, could you ever call Malone out? It is funny because it's, like, it's both fair, but also, like, what's a coach ever going to say in that? Like, Malone,
know,
do
but
you feel
it-
like you did a bad job coaching tonight?
It is.
Thank you for asking. Great question.
I know.
I did. Thank you.
But I understand that feeling when you, the fan, are removed eightfold from the actual
Of course.
decision making. You're like, someone
Right.
make him feel uncomfortable and angry as he has done to me. Put him in a
Right,
position where
right,
he's
yep.
forced to answer these questions that
So
I'm
true.
screaming at the television and seemingly there is no answer.
Right, you can't just be like, "Hey Malone, I didn't think you were very good tonight." Like that's
Yeah.
not a question. You can ask about rotation questions, and we try, and you have to after tough losses. It's not an easy spot. It's not. The coach doesn't want to answer that question. You know, you're just as likely to get yelled at. but it is what it is.
Lakers beat the Magic tonight. Let's check on some old friends. Gary Harris, 13 points, 4 rebounds. Man, have you guys seen the reports? Everybody thinks he's going to get bought out and go to the Nets. Doesn't that suck?
Yes.
I think that's hilarious.
What if he replaces Dad?
On the Nets?
Apparently Dad wants out of the Nets. So lame.
Contract year Gary is like Hoodie Mello, Face Mask LeBron. Like, I'm just saying he's one of the great characters of basketball lore.
True bummer, man. True bummer. And then we've got the Hornets smack down on the Thunder. I mean, who cares? That game doesn't have anything. It was a pretty boring game. 121-98. That was Around the Association.
Wow, what a segment.
What a segment that was today.
Holy God.
Harrison, Joker coming in 5.
He hasn't even come up yet. Holy smokes, Joker.
Wow. Well, I guess should we end it Friday?
Yep, let's end it.
F you guys, dude.
We did this yesterday. We did an hour 40-minute show last time. Like I can't do it.
Do you want to
man.
do that after a loss?
After a
in
loss,
which my favorite
these
player
people
was
want to hang out with us for
27.
30 more minutes.
Let's
While we
double
just
up.
talk about
Where Brendan was put to his Brendan has to put his arms down for 45 minutes.
Yeah, you guys watched me.
If you guys are jonesing for a little bit more content, I do highly recommend you always check out the Keeping It 1000 podcast. I had Sandy Clough on, along with obviously George Karl all the time. George Karl, we're going to talk about this on Sunday's show. George Karl said he thinks when it's all said and done, Jokic will be a top 10 player all time. All time. We'll talk about this on Sunday and just
Not
about
that
how
hot.
is George off his rocker, or
Not that
is
hot.
one of the coach who's won more NBA games than anyone else just onto something.
He's definitely onto something. Should I answer?
On
Is
Sunday.
it a
Thanks for
teaser?
tuning in, everybody. We appreciate it.
Hey,
sorry, no post
Chat,
game.
chat.
Blame
We
Jokic.
love you. We
Let
love you.
Brendan
Thanks
go
for coming.
home.